Today I wanted to talk about what are the pros and cons of moving to Poland, and do I especially recommend it? So let's get to it. Here are some benefits that I would say are a plus to moving to Poland. Honestly, as an international person that came from the US and just recently, around 5 years ago, moved to Poland, I have found some benefits and also some cons as to why I like living here or why I don't like living here. Personally speaking, Poland is such a historically captivating place to live in, especially Warsaw, and especially the old town. It definitely tells a story to tell, as well as you honestly live in this very European vibe that's very different from an American standpoint. In the US, you don't really have these many historical monuments in daily life. It's very suburban in New York, or it's very modern. Or not in New York, but in the US. It's very modern or it's very suburban. So the difference in Poland is that it actually tells this historical and traditional vibe that keeps Poland its true place and holds its history and its culture. The reason why I would recommend moving to Poland is due to the low cost of living. Of course, there's a big difference between Poland and the US as to cost of living. For instance, you can get yourself and rent yourself an apartment for a much cheaper price than you would in the US. And especially in New York. The price differences in apartments is honestly so crazy and so much cheaper than it is in the US, which is a very big benefit. Although I will say a con is that you pretty much need to know not a lot, but you need to know some standard Polish words to get around Poland. Not everyone speaks English, and that's definitely something to keep in mind as to kind of adapting to the culture, as well as to knowing the language and knowing some fundamental words to get around the day. A major benefit, or something that I've noticed, and as to something that I will definitely say that is a benefit to moving to Poland, is how clean it is. Poland is very clean, and they really value how clean the streets are, the parks are, etc. And that's definitely something that is a pro. Is that when you're walking along the street, you won't really notice many garbage on the floor, such as papers thrown or different garbage on the floor in general of the streets in Poland, which is so amazing. And I think that's something that even the US should take into consideration. That's definitely something that I very much value, and I think it's a pro to moving here as well. As I mentioned before, how you need to know some certain Polish words to kind of get around Poland as well in your daily life when living here. what I will say is Warsaw and Krakow is definitely expanding internationally. What I would say is that Warsaw is definitely shifting towards this international vibe and multinational city, which is honestly so fundamental for tourists and international people planning to move here, is how fundamental Warsaw is really getting and how reliable it is for international people, is that you can get around more and more and more by speaking English. And that's definitely a major pro for us. Because even though Poland is a European country with its own set of standards, its own language, and as well its own currency, you can definitely get around a lot more easier in 2024 with knowing English, which is honestly so amazing. Around like 5 years ago, I would say it would be a little bit tougher for an international person to walk into a shop and automatically speak English and the cashier automatically knowing what you're saying. But now, if I would walk into a shop and speak English, I have a higher chance of having a conversation with the cashier in English, which is honestly such a major benefit. And I think it's honestly a major plus for international people moving here. What I would also say is a major benefit as to why you should move to Poland is how much the city is diversifying. Well, I mentioned before that there are more and more international people coming here, but I would say the community here in Warsaw, or just in general in Poland, is honestly amazing. If you were to walk into a club, walk into a bar, and sit down and try to have a conversation with tourists or just Polish people here in Warsaw, you could definitely do that. It's so easy to meet new people here, and it's a lot easier to just sit at a bar and meet new friends or go to a club and meet new friends because everybody is so welcoming. And I would definitely say that's a major plus if you're moving here alone and you want to find friends. I don't think it's that hard. As well as, I would say the job market for international people is definitely expanding. What I would say is that even from my personal experience, my old workplace hires more and more international drivers and delivery drivers, and they get paid well, and you don't need to even learn the Polish language to work here as well. So there's many opportunities for international people to find work here. Maybe it won't be as easy or your dream job, but there are definitely multiple opportunities for you to find a job here. Also, healthcare is a major benefit. You could either have public healthcare or private healthcare, which is a very big advantage. In comparison to other countries or other cities, it's not that easy to have public healthcare. But here, it's honestly reliable. You can have public healthcare, as well as it's very easy to, I mean, it's not very easy, but you can also get private healthcare. So the healthcare variety or the variations of healthcare that you can get in Poland is honestly pretty good. And I have mentioned how cheap it is, right? So basically in Poland, it is pretty cheap to get an apartment as well. Even for families or for one bedroom, you could definitely find something that fits your comfort zone financially and physically in the location that you want to be in, as well as shopping, etc., is honestly also a plus. When going grocery shopping, you can get a couple of groceries for less, you can get groceries for like around 2 weeks for less than $100 or so. And if, of course, when speaking about 1 to 2 people, but when speaking about a larger family, of course, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's not as expensive as in the US, which is a major benefit. And something that me and my family definitely took into regard when moving here. In terms of shopping, etc., for clothes, etc., you have all the shops that you want. Clothing stores like Zara, Bershka, Pull&Bear. You also have Nike, Adidas, H&M. Every single like international brand that you could imagine, you probably have it here, which is amazing as well. Because even though Poland is quickly developing, it's honestly a major benefit for international people, as you aren't scared to kind of develop. And I understand that like the culture shock might be a major like threat to you, but at first you might catch this like short culture shock, but once you get used to living in Poland, you definitely value the factors that they have presentable here for international people, such as even the clothing stores that you usually have in the US, you find them here. Or even the opportunity to buy international snacks that you have from the US, you can find them here. So those little benefits honestly make you get used to living in Poland sooner and kind of like back away from the culture shock of living in a European country. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave us a like and also subscribe to Explore with Kojo for more talks like this and more walkthroughs through Poland and just in general through the world. And if you enjoyed this video and have any more ideas as to what you want us to film and what you want us to show, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below. See you guys soon. Bye.